The Frenchman Michel Barnier has left the team of Brexit negotiators in the European Union after more than 4 years. Mission accomplished, wrote the 70-year-old on Twitter and thanked his employees. Today is the first day of the rest of our lives, he wrote. Many challenges await. Barnier was appointed chief negotiator for negotiations with the United Kingdom after the British voted to leave the EU in 2016. In almost endless rounds with the British negotiators, he initially agreed the EU exit agreement, which came into force in 2019. The trade pact with Great Britain, which has been provisionally in force since January 1st, followed at Christmas last year. In January, Barnier was appointed Special Advisor to Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Another reason is that he will reach the official age limit for employment in the EU Commission with his 70th birthday on January 9th, or he did reach that. Commission Vice Maros Šefčovič is now responsible for the implementation of the Brexit agreements. Barnier, on the other hand, is pulling back into French politics, as he officially announced in December. According to media reports, the conservative politician is considering a candidacy for the French presidential election in 2022 for the center-right party Les Républicains. Before his career in Brussels, Barnier was, among other things, French foreign minister. Brexit and the corona pandemic are also having an impact on companies' foreign business on the Rhine and Sieg. This is shown by the current survey by the Chambers of Industry and Commerce Going International, in which the Chamber of Industry and Commerce from Bonn and the Rhine-Sieg participated. Last year, exports in North Rhine-Westphalia fell by 9% to 176 billion euros. That was the lowest value in 10 years, says Armin Heide, International Division Manager at the Trade Board of Bonn-Rhein-Sieg. Corona and the upheavals in trade with the United Kingdom are further slowing down international business, even if positive signals come from the EU and North America. 73.9% of the companies affected in Bonn and the Rhein-Sieg-Kreis rate the current business situation with the UK as bad. 62.5% share this poor assessment for the whole year 2021. The main reasons for this are the customs bureaucracy, the increase in tariff trade barriers, legal uncertainties, and the logistics chains. And that's why Heide says, although a soft Brexit was carried out at the beginning of the year with the conclusion of the TCA, that's the Trade and Cooperation Agreement between the EU and the UK, the challenges in import and export as well as the provisions of services predominate. In many cases, retailers still benefit from warehousing. The effects of the corona pandemic on the entire international business are characterized by travel restrictions, the cancellation of trade fairs and events, lower demand for products and services, and postponed investments and problems in the supply chain or with logistics. Irrespective of corona, 48.7% of the survey participants saw an increase in trade barriers in the past year, primarily in the Eurozone and, of course, the United Kingdom, Asia Pacific, and China with 31.6% each. In the Eurozone, the business situation is rated good by 21.6% and satisfactory by 45.9%. North America seems to provide a ray of hope with the USA as the most important partner. 90% of the companies affected postulate the same or better prospects, and almost 3/4 assess the current situation as satisfactory. The British specialist for electrically assisted light commercial vehicles, electric assisted vehicles, has now announced the deliveries of its four-wheeled Pedelec EAV2 Cubed in Germany and Norway. At the same time, the first post-Brexit vehicles to be released in 2019 by Formula One and aviation startup companies established by engineers. Brexit was not without its challenges. Like many British brands, we were concerned about the potential impact on our business. Most importantly, we had to adjust the huge amount of new administrative regulations, both in terms of parts buying and exporting, said Lee Barnby, COO and director of EAV. What used to be a simple, straightforward procedure for deliveries to Europe is now just as complex as exporting to the USA. But they learn the new processes, which is extremely important because they are the market leader in Europe in micromobility, and sales to the EU have increased significantly over the past few months. The manufacturer has now delivered from Portugal to Sweden to the whole of Europe and has received numerous other orders. Now one is forced to rethink the strategy with regard to international sales. They have received very good customer feedback about using the EAV2 Cubed and are sure that they have the right product. There is a real need to keep up with the environment efforts of the past few years. Our clear goal is to replace conventional vans and cars in cities with highly efficient transportation solutions that solve both city tolls and air pollution issues, said Barnby while continuing. And that provided that the users do not have to accept any loss of efficiency for their business model. In fact, the efficiency has actually increased, the COO advertises. Now, in the next step, one will have to take a look at the global sales of light electric vehicles and how they can achieve the maximum effect as quickly as possible. The manufacturer relies on a four-wheeled 2.74 meter long and 1 meter wide cargo pedelec on an easily recyclable steel frame, as well as with biodegradable composite materials which can store up to 150 kilo payload in a large volume box with a dead weight of 125 kilo. That means the whole thing with 380 kilos. Depending on the battery pack, the pedal assistance is sufficient for 26 to 96 kilometers and always up to a speed of 25 kilometers per hour. The turning cycle is 4.6 meters. And Brexit challenges also the breeders of vegetatively reducible woody plants, ornamental and fruit plants. Apparently, however, not to the extent finally feared. That was the public general meeting of Sueddeutsche Germany on February 24th via a video conference that told us. As Michaela Filippo of Sueddeutsche pointed out, all plant variety rights applications submitted by December 31st will automatically be converted to UK plant variety rights. The title holder does not need to take any steps. Great Britain will also take over the DUS reports, that's testing for distinctness, homogeneity and stability, and for developing harmonized descriptions of new plant varieties from the EU. However, the EU does not plan to take over the variety examination reports from the UK. This could become possible for individual exceptions in the future. Existing EU trademarks will be converted to British trademarks in the UK. The exact procedure is still being negotiated, as Annette Benoit from the Federal Ministry of Food and Agriculture reported. The EU Commission has presented a draft regulation to mitigate the economic and administrative consequences of Brexit for the sectors and regions most affected, announced Dr. Brigitta von Wilmowski, also from the ministry. For Germany, the Federal Ministry of Economics will be in charge. Dr. Thomas Schröder explained the UK's three-step import model, according to which, among other things, since January 1st, all traders who import high-risk plants and plant products must have advance notification and health documentation. Furthermore, Dr. Torben Sprink from the Julius Kühn Institute on the application of genome editing in breeding practice. He makes it clear that molecular biological techniques are already being used in a variety of ways around the world. However, the new breeding techniques are regulated very differently in different countries. Anna Köhne reported on the current activities of Sayapora International, among other things, on plant variety protection, and announced an increased cooperation for this year on the amendments of the EU Plant Variety Protection Act and the expansion of the lists of protected species. And if you want to stay informed, please subscribe to my channel and to my other channels. I'll see you in my next video. Auf Wiedersehen.